Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, what is happening in Tanzania right now, as shared in our previous analysis, is a situation where SAMIA SULUHU amesimama kwa debe peke yake. Ni kama vile tuseme sasa Ruto asimame na watu wengine very unpopular kwa debe. So unapata amumtaki Ruto, lakini amesimama na watu ambao vifefe. Let's use the word vifefe because that is a word to mean people are very weak in politics. In fact, people are not even known. And then Ruto wins, you know. So the same situation is what is happening in Tanzania right now, because the main competitor, as communicated in our previous analysis, would have been Tundu Lissu. Lakini nyote si mnaona vile Tundu Lissu amefanyiwa. Amebanwa, akabanwa, mpaka hawezi fanya campaign. Alafu tena ile tume ya uchaguzi ya Tanzania ikaenda tena ikasema Chadema wamekuwa banned mpaka 2030 huko. Hawezi kusimamisha mtu. So that is enough to say that the electoral body in Tanzania is defending CCM. Now, you've seen what is happening in Tanzania.
Katikati mwa barabara wamewasha moto vijana hawa, tunaweza kusema ni Gen Z.
You know, and the UN has spoken about this. Like UN experts say that at one particular time, they say that more than 200 cases of enforced disappearances had been recorded in Tanzania since 2019, you know. So these abductions in the lead up to this election also increased public anger against the president, the incumbent, Suluhu Hassan. And if I may take you back to the history, one of those taken was Humphrey Polepole, a CCM insider who had resigned from his role as ambassador to Cuba and became a vocal critic of the government. CCM and Hassan's leadership, his family, said he was abducted by unknown individuals earlier this month. So these are just some of the things which have been happening. Now, in June, Tanzania police dismissed claims of those kind of abductions and disappearances, despite the fact that UN gave data of all these happenings. Now, I'm just trying to jog your mind a bit, because the election today has shocked the whole nation. The whole world has been shocked. Because if you look at the activists in Kenya, what they are saying, wanasema kwamba the opposition, the all opposition, wote, they have been silenced. Now people are wondering, what is going to happen after this election? Let me be honest with you. Tanzania haitakuwa sawa. You already seen what happened in Madagascar, what is happening in Cameroon. Paul Biya just secured another return to presidency, and it's his 8th term. I mean, it's like he is the president for life. He has ruled Cameroon more than even Museveni has ruled Uganda, if my facts are correct. So that is what is happening in Cameroon. As is Cameroon, the riot after riot. You saw what happened in Madagascar. So there was talk about some Gen Z's revolution in Tanzania, though Tanzania authority have been very tough on these kind of demonstrations. Hawataki kusikia any uprising of any nature. So they have been very focused to make sure that they contain any kind of demonstration that comes on board. So the concern is, after this election, what is going to happen? I mean, after this election, the crackdown, you know. Remember, Tundu Lissu will be out. He's going to be out because, of course, evidence, uliona ile koti ilisema evidence mara hakuna shahidi. Sorry, hakuna shahidi, you know. So most likely Tundu Lissu is going to be out. And I can imagine the kind of Tundu Lissu that we're going to have going forward after hii pressure yote ya kioko jela. Most likely they were trying to get him to, surrender, to tone down on his stand ndio aachiliwe, lakini Tundu Lissu haja kabisa hata kidogo, na serikali inajua kwamba wakifanya kitu watajulikana ni wao, kwa sababu hao ndio wamtaki. So they are very careful about that, otherwise wangekosha mfanya kitu kwa jela na ameaga. So let's get back to the crackdown that even the UN is speaking loud about. I understand even ICC is worried about this matter. So we are told that a crackdown on opposition parties has intensified in months. Also, just like we know that Chadema was disqualified, there is also ACT Wazalendo. The leader of ACT Wazalendo, who is another opposition party, it was also disqualified. So because of these disqualifications, Suluhu Hassan will contest only lesser known candidates from minor parties. Yani kwa ufupi, Suluhu Hassan atajiapisha tu. Surely this is not an election like Martha Karua said. Martha Karua said this is not an election. Well, that is according to Martha Karua. Of course, this is an election, but the kind of election that Tanzania is experiencing ndio kathingi ndio shida kwa watu wengine ambao wanajaribu kufuatilia hizi mambo zote. Now, if you look at the list of people who have been allowed to contest with SAMIA SULUHU. Now, Salum Mwalimu was a running mate of Tundu Lissu in 2000 presidential election. Now, he is running as a presidential candidate of Chuma party, which is made up of the defectors of Chadema. So, ladies and gentlemen, just go below in the comment section and tell us what to think about this development. Suluhu ana contest na watu ambao hawajulikani, na hao ambao hawajulikani wamepewa ruhusa kabisa ku campaign, na hata unajua hata campaign vipi hawajulikani. So are we experiencing a scenario where labda serikali ilitengeneza chama, kwa sababu kama Chuma party, unapata Chuma party unaambiwa, now let me tell you something here. There's a one person who was a running mate of Tundu Lissu in 2000. This person by the name Salum Mwalimu defected from Chadema and joined Chauma party. Now he's running on a Chauma party as the presidential candidate. Now this is a case of we are not ruling out a possibility of a government forming small parties to make sure that the big parties, opposition parties become very weak. So Chauma party could have been a party that was formed to weaken Chadema party, because most of the Chauma party members are defectors of Chadema. So the reason why they are that is the case is to make Chadema party very weak. It's just the same to what is happening in South Africa. In South Africa, Malema's party, there are other defectors who defected to another party, and Malema's party ended up becoming very weak, and that's why Malema performed poorly during the presidential election, and despite the fact that ANC could not get a direct win, but Malema's party was very poor in performance. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to rest my case there, but just go below in the comment section and tell us what to think about this latest development. Perhaps if you watch this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.